beep, and welcome to the court of the Edijester. Hello everyone, and how are we today? What a week it's turning out to be. Now you will recall, the thrill of it all, you will recall in one of my early videos, right, that I put out, where Scotland said, oh, we're accepting the cash review, blah, 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 blah. And I said to you that I smell a rat, which I did smell a rat. I told you I smell a rat. It looks like I was right to smell a rat. Something's come up that really is another example of how extraordinarily far people will go and will lie in order to keep this ideology going, particularly in Scotland. So we're back up in Scotland. Hello once again to Scotland and all the hardworking people up there doing work to end this. Here we go. On the back of the report that I covered yesterday or whenever it was, I covered a report. And now we've got this from the Telegraph, which is Scottish doctors to give dangerous hormones to trans patients who self-ID. So it seems to be a complete turnaround here. Bit of confusion about what's actually happening in Scotland. So if you've got any information, please put it in the doobries. Oh, and become a warrant teacher. Come and join us September. Still need peeps. Still need peeps. If you want me to run it, I need peeps. If not, we'll have to go back to doing it another time. Scottish doctors. New guidelines for Scottish doctors state testosterone or estrogen can be freely prescribed despite uncertainty about side effect risks. GPs will be able to prescribe cross-sex hormones to patients who diagnose themselves as transgender in Scotland under new NHS rules. What? It says here, under guidelines published on Tuesday, this is dated the 3rd of September. So under guidelines published on Tuesday, it is stated that testosterone or estrogen prescriptions are to be given out to adults primarily based on someone's self-report. What's Scotland do? I don't understand it. They said that they were going to accept CAS. Now, this is obviously what they're doing, is they're accepting CAS for under 18s, but they're not doing what the NHS has done with the James Palmer memo, which is go, hang on, we need to stop the adult services as well. So they're going full steam ahead on the adult services to every perverted bloke that wants a pair of breasts so he can play with his floppy dangler. That's what they're doing. They're kowtowing and humbling themselves in front of lascivious gusset fumblers. That's what's occurring here. That's what it seems like to me. You will, of course, as always, let me know in the comments what you think. Previously, access to a specialist gender clinic was usually required to access hormone treatments on the Scottish NHS. However, the new rules open the door for GPs being able to prescribe the drugs after taking account of guidance or taking specialist advice. This is very fluffy, isn't it? Is it very fluffy in a kind of Scottish wee? It's very fluffy to me. Anybody else got any info? I don't know what's going on here. NHS Education for Scotland, which issued the guidance, confirmed that going forward the ability to approve hormones will be based on knowledge and skills rather than job title, with primary care practitioners listed as among those able to prescribe. So let me get this absolutely straight. What they're saying is that these prescriptions can now be handed out like confetti, providing somebody agrees with you. Is that what they're saying? I mean, you have a read and you let me know, but I think that's what they're saying. They're actually expanding it so that people can get it done. Absolutely outrageous. When you consider what Cass had to say about 18 to 25-year-olds, you know me, I think we stop the whole thing. I think it's harmful to society. It's completely harmful to society on every level. I think Helen Joyce is on that page as well. I'm not sure, I'd have to check. But she is, I'm sure. So it says, anybody with a primary care practitioner is listed as among those able to prescribe. A primary care practitioner, what does that even mean? A nurse? I don't know what that even means. Help! Put it in the doobries, will you? The drugs can help transgender people, no such thing, feel more comfortable with their bodies by altering physical characteristics, yet mutilates the body and does incredible harm. For example, by causing biological males to develop breasts. No such thing as a biological male. It's just males to develop breasts, or females to grow facial hair. Well, some females do anyway. Don't need your help to do it. This is like giving out titty skittles, isn't it? It's wrong. However, there is uncertainty about their risks. There is no uncertainty anymore. This has got to stop. They knew it was a bad idea when John Hopkins in 1979, they knew what they'd done. They were like, stop it now. It's a dreadful mistake. We still know it's a dreadful mistake. This is damaging society, as well as individuals and those that surround them. It's causing problems for children in schools. This whole damn thing needs to end. However, with uncertainty about their risks, with long-term use potentially causing infertility and other side effects, including multiple blood conditions, weight gain and gallstones. What about the osteoporosis? What about the damage to the brain? I'm not talking about any of this. We'll take the strongest drugs known to men and screw with them. That's what they've done. A consultant psychiatrist with more than 2 decades of experience in gender dysphoria described the guidelines as absolutely ridiculous and said that prescribing life-altering hormone treatments based mainly on a self-report rather than an in-depth specialist assessment was dangerous. So the NHS in Scotland has now issued guidelines that are dangerous, according to somebody who seems to know what they're talking about. What do you make of it? I can't... The long-delayed overhaul on how transgender patients are to be treated in the Scottish NHS also opens the door to those who buy hormones themselves on the internet being prescribed them instead by NHS family doctors in a harm reduction measure. This is based on the fact that they still believe that these people will kill themselves if they don't get what they want. That's what it is. New care standards, I wouldn't call them that. New standards for pushing drugs on people state so-called bridging prescriptions given out while patients are on year-long waiting lists for a specialised assessment and may have acquired drugs initially should be considered. What they're doing is essentially the same as giving heroin to the drug addicts in case the drugs they buy off of the drug dealers are bad. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Mad lunatics. Whether it's gender or other conditions, a patient may think they have one thing, but following... I do apologise. As Hakim, who we know does great work, a psychiatrist, said the new guidelines would potentially put patients at risk by pushing them onto a medical pathway which many later come to regret. Whether it's gender or other conditions, a patient may think they have one thing, but following a thorough assessment, you discover that they have something else. This is so true. Trans is an umbrella term, he said, which compromises a lot of different things. Some have sexual excitement from cross-dressing. That's your gusset fumblers and your titty-skittle admirers, right? They're transsexuals, or they are autogynephiles who get turned on by a fantasy of having female genitals and breasts. Of those that would be considered truly transsexual, they are on the autistic spectrum, so hormones and surgeries are often a false solution for someone else, i.e. true transex, no such thing as true trans. All stops. The whole damn thing has been a mistake from the beginning. Get it done. The new Scottish NHS guidelines state that the basis for being prescribed hormones is primarily based upon someone's self-report, yet admits there is no guarantee that endocrine treatment hormones will offer benefit to them or to the extent desired. Dr. Hakim added, we're talking about life-changing medication which can cause loads of problems which are not to be taken lightly and not reversible. It's absolutely ridiculous to suggest they should be given out based on a self-report. It's like someone presenting for liposuction believing that they're too fat, but they might be anorexic. The new rules also say irreversible surgeries for trans patients, such as genital reconstruction, should take place under a process of shared decision-making with a patient. Stop this! Stop it now! The rules do not apply for children. They've got it here, but there's more in the article. Go and have a look. But let me know what you think. Because what are Scotland? They're lying through their teeth, is what they're doing by the sound of it. So they recognise CAS for children, but they're not going to recognise that what applies to CAS for under 18s also applies for over 18s. They're not going to recognise it. They are not going to give this up until the Scottish people get together and get these lunatics out, which isn't going to happen because Scotland's enamoured of the left. Oh, wee buddy Scotland, what's going on up there? So that's it from me. I'll see you later. Let me know in the comments what you think. Come and be a borrowed teacher. Buy me a coffee. Subscribe. And put your notifications on. I'll see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.